Welcome to the Thought Trap. My name's Becca Gardner, and if you've ever wished you could turn off that chattery mind and actually be more in life, well, you may have just struck gold. I'm so glad you're here. What I'm about to share is deceptively simple, yet it has the power to change everything. So let's not overthink it for once and jump right into today's episode. So this is episode 1. I can't believe I'm saying that. I've been so looking forward to cracking on with this podcast. And it's the perfect opportunity to tell you a little story right from outset. The thing is, we all get in our head over stuff. And this is the best example. It's taken me so long to record this first episode. And I feel like once I record it, that's it. I can then be in flow. But the thing is, when you over prepare for something or you think it through too much, then it never ends well. So my brain has been thinking about this so much over the last few days, and I've tried to record it quite a few times. And I'm waking up in the middle of the night, rehearsing what I'm going to say, because that's what my mind does. And it's really interesting to see this all play out, because my experience of this years ago was very different. I would have really been in my head over it and really thought that meant something about my ability to podcast. I can see now it means nothing about my ability to podcast. It's just that I'm in a thought trap. So that's what this podcast is all around. It's all around you having a completely different experience in life when you can see how we don't need to identify with that chatter in our mind. But that's something people are probably trying to do all the time. They're trying to turn off that chatter in their mind. They're trying to argue with that chatter in their mind. We all have a voice, most of us, that talk, and it's in our voice, so it feels so compelling. It looks like there's truth there, and we have just learnt to listen to it. It is as simple as that. But I am going to share something with you. Then the byproduct of that is that you end up having a completely different relationship with your mind. The thing is, we're humans, and we have the most perfect design, but we've never really been told how it works. As children, we actually worked with our human design a lot easier than we do as adults. I see this all the time, not only in my own children, but my friends' children or children around me. They just move through emotions and feelings a lot quicker. They become less identified of what's happening tomorrow and what happened yesterday, and they're a lot more present. So this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how when we learn a little bit more about how we all really work, we end up just having a life that just feels a little easier, less struggly, and more peace of mind. That's what's up for grabs. I'm throwing it out there. So a little bit about me, just a little bit, because no one likes talking about themselves, but I'm a certified change coach. I had the privilege of training with Dr. Amy Johnson in the Little School of Big Change, and I absolutely love sharing this work. I work with people one-to-one, face-to-face and online in my practice at The Missing Piece. And for some time, I have seen people change. And the foundational thing that I see to be so true is that when people have a different relationship with that chatter in their mind, it opens up an absolute world of possibilities. It is endless how this could support you. So this isn't about me telling you anything. It's more around me pointing you back to what we've kind of forgotten. That's the best way to say this. We've just forgotten. We are conditioned beings, and we've become so identified with that chatter in our minds. And we're just kind of surrounded by a ton of information and knowledge. It's all fact, and what we need to do. This is more a description of how we work as humans rather than a prescription of what you need to do. And to have this information and learning more about how we all work as humans means that we're able, on a deep level, become more aligned to what we want and what we need. The thing is, we hear the phrase, follow your gut, But sometimes you can't hear your gut because your brain and your voice in your brain is so noisy. So that's what this is about. It's identifying the fact that we don't need to listen to that chatter in the way that you think we do. But I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how we just disregard that more and more. So this podcast is called The Thought Trap because that's what it feels like I'm in at times, a trap of thought. And when I say the word trap, it feels painful, like I've hurt myself, like a mouse trap or something. And the thing is, because the human design is so incredible, it actually comes with an inbuilt system that that's listening right now has always had. That alarm has always gone off, but we may never have noticed it. So when you really, truly learn how something works, then you're going to have a different experience. So, for example, like take my air fryer, okay? When I learned how to use my air fryer properly with all its features, I was able to have a different experience of cooking than I did when I just chucked frozen chips in there. I managed to learn, once I'd read the instruction manual, how to set it up to my advantage. So I had an easier time in the kitchen. As in the early days, I had the air fryer on and the oven because I didn't really understand how it worked. That's a little bit like this human design that we are gifted. We're not given an instruction manual like we do with an air fryer. So we just kind of bumble through life just doing our best. And that's fine until we come up to a struggle or we're trying to break a habit or we just don't feel great. Then this is the opportunity that we can start really exploring in this direction. And that's what this is about. So I don't plan to do this all on my own. It's not my style, but I do intend to have a blend of solo episodes that are probably going to be short because I want this to be bite-sized, digestible, that's a hard one to say, pieces that you can listen to in your own time and then go away and just reflect on. This is the cool thing. I don't want to talk at you. I want you just to listen to my words and see what looks true. I'm also going to invite guests onto the podcast because I think there's something really incredible that happens when you talk about this and explore it from completely different angles and from people's experiences. That can be absolutely life-changing. I really want to question things that on the surface look absolutely 100% true. And then when we pop it under the microscope, it just isn't as true as we first thought. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I really am because I've got so much to cover. And like I say, I feel like I just want to do it all right now, but I know that's not possible. So we're going to start in episode 2 to talk a little bit around thought traps. Now, really, this podcast is designed for you to listen to, obviously, and for you to identify your own thought traps. Because when you do and you see them and you start observing them, then it just gets really, really cool. Because the thing is, if you don't know that you're in a thought trap, then we are just in struggles. And we try our hardest to get out of that thought trap because when we're struggling, naturally, we don't want to struggle. We want to feel better. And all those things that we do to feel better tend to keep us in the trap. So imagine I'm a lighthouse. Bear with me. So a good friend of mine and a colleague, an amazing coach, described me as a lighthouse once. And it really struck a chord because it's so true. The thing is, you are the expert. I'm just pointing you in a direction. So with that, I'm concluding this episode and I thank you for listening and I really hope that you come back and listen to episode 2. This has been The Thought Trap. I'm Becca Gardner.